Hey guys, good morning. Today is the Women's Prize Day. Well, actually, the Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist for the year of 2025, which is the year that we are in, was announced for me in Los Angeles last night at midnight. I did not stay up for it because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to sleep afterwards, which I probably wouldn't have. I wasn't going to be able to sleep afterwards if I saw it at midnight, and also I live in a studio apartment with my partner and he needed to go to bed. So anyways, it's now almost 8 o'clock in the morning the next day. I have to leave for work soon, but it's time to look at the list. So let's do a little bit of, oh my god. Let's do a reaction. Oh my god, I'm seeing people's video reactions to it, and they say disappointed on, oh my god, no, I'm so nervous. Okay.
Hello, I'm Kit Duvall, and as this year's chair of judges, I'm thrilled to welcome you to the announcement of the 2025 Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist.
Good Girl, Aria Faber.
Good girl.
This is a highly emotive psychedelic read with writing that is poetic and incredibly moving.
Okay.
Set in Berlin's artistic underground, it follows Nilla, a young woman born to Afghan parents as she comes to terms with her identity.
Dream Count, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Oh my god, Dream Count's on it.
Explores fragile female friendship.
I'm honestly both surprised and not surprised that Dream Count by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is on there. Not surprised because she's such a good writer, like seriously, and I know she won like the Women's Prize winner of all winners in like the 25th year. But I wasn't sure because I know a lot of people are like, she's politically contentious for a lot of people. So I wasn't sure, but okay, I am looking forward to reading Dream Count.
And deals with race, with class, with mother long after you finish reading.
The Ministry of Time, Talia.
The Ministry of Time is on this list. I hate that book. Like, I deeply hate that book. It's like a... Ugh. Oh no.
This is a genre-bending
I
novel.
hate the Ministry of
It's
Time.
sci-fi, it's romance, spy thriller, fantasy, and historical fiction about a civil servant who falls in love with a man from 1847. This book was addictive, propulsive, and a total joy to read.
Hated it.
Somewhere Else, Jenny Dyches.
Never heard of it.
This was a beautiful book about a young child who escapes Poland and is adopted by a Scottish couple. It's an epic generational story about
Sounds good.
womanhood and living in a country even though you feel home is somewhere else.
Amma, Saray de Silva.
Okay, we already have like 2 books that I've never heard of before.
Didn't want this book to end. It's a multi-generational story about a Sri Lankan woman, her daughter and her granddaughter, and spans decades and countries from Sri Lanka to New Zealand. It shows how societal judgments on women have changed over time, and there are so many powerful scenes in it that have stayed with me long after I finished the book.
Crooked Seeds, Karen Jennings.
Another one, Crooked Seeds by Karen Jennings. Why does her name sound familiar? I've never heard of this book. I forgot before I sat down to put like my predictions out there. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't have predictions. I hope that There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak pops up on here. And I also hope that Nesting by Roisin O'Donnell pops up on here. Okay, but we're on Crooked Seeds. Let's see.
This book is set in Cape Town. It's a sort of mystery book, but also about alcoholism. It made my skin crawl in the best possible way.
All Fours, Miranda July.
All Fours by Miranda July? I don't want to read that. What?
This is a conversation starting book. The minute I finished it, I ordered copies for all of my friends.
What a shocking
feels
list so
like
far.
Part manifesto, part battle cry.
The Persians, Sanam Maluji.
The Persian. This is honestly like a really... I mean, it's always a shocking list, but what?
This book is full of larger-than-life characters and rich in Iranian history and glamour. It's funny, gutsy, confident writing with shifting voices and different modes of storytelling.
Nesting.
Yes! Nesting! Oh, thank God. Oh, I bought this book as like my book purchase for February because it sounded so good on people's predictions list for the Women's Prize, and I was like, it sounds like something's gonna be on there, but really, you never freaking know. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So I already have nesting. That's exciting.
Sheen O'Donnell.
Thank
This
goodness.
book is written about a subject we don't see written about enough. It's about
And I'm already planning on I'm gonna pick up Dream Count. It actually just came out today, March 4th in the US.
domestic violence. Really strong narrative voice with lots of sympathy and empathy, and yet all the information that you need that we really should have about what happens when people flee a domestic violence situation.
The Dream Hotel, Layla Lalami. It's a book that explores the consequences
I thought that Layla Lalami was translated. But okay, The Dream Hotel?
of a society that I've not stopped thinking about.
Sounds
A
interesting.
Little Trickery, Rosanna Pike.
A Little Trickery.
The wonderful Tib Ingleby, who is a heroine of epic proportions. It's just wonderful, charming, brilliant. It is almost Chaucerian.
The Safekeep.
The Safe Keep. Oh my god. I am so glad this is on here. I've been wanting to read this. I have it available to pick up at my library that I need to pick up today. So thank goodness. Okay.
Ale van der Vouden. The writing is next level. It's a beautiful story about a character who is, to begin with at least, not likeable. And it's a story that has not been told before, and yet something we all feel we should know. It's great.
The Artist, Lucy Steeds. Set during the First World War in Provence, it's about a journalist who goes to interview a reclusive and eminent artist. The writing is so beautiful, the descriptions of the art is immersive. I could smell the paints, feel the fabrics, and see the light in the studio.
Birding, Rose Ruane.
So many books that I've never heard of before. The last one that they just mentioned, I forgot. Oh my god, I already forgot the name of the title. About artists. I'm not interested in books about artists. If I'm being honest, it's like a big fat negative word. It's like the opposite of a buzzword for me. Okay, but Birding by Rose Ruane.
So this book really speaks to the reality of being a woman, not just now, but also coming of age in the 90s and the noughties. I highlighted the whole thing on my Kindle.
Fundamentally, Nusaiba Yunus. It's a complex story about the bureaucracy of the UN. It opened up for me a world I'd never ever thought about. It's irreverent, it's funny, it's clever, and it's really enjoyable.
Tell Me Everything, Elizabeth Strout.
Oh, Elizabeth Strout's on here. That's both surprising and not surprising.
It's a story about ordinary people, and their stories are so wonderfully woven together here. It's a book with a real symphonic feel, full of emotional truth, intimate conversation, and propulsive energy.
It was really tough getting so many
Wow.
books down to the long list that we've had today. But we are very proud of these books.
I'm so
and how they
upset.
show some of the best writing from women all over the world this year.
Oh my god, I'm so upset. Like, actually, I'm upset. There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak is not on there. That's shocking to me. And my comment about Elizabeth Strout, I've actually never read Elizabeth Strout. I just get like the feeling that she's, and this is gonna sound so terrible, but like old news kind of a thing, like not doing anything interesting. But then again, that's coming from someone who's never read her before. So I don't really know. That's just always the vibe that I've had around her. I'm sure she's a great writer, obviously. She pops up on the Women's Prize a lot. So that's why, again, I probably shouldn't be surprised. The Ministry of Time, I'm genuinely peeved about that. Like, that was one of my top least favorite books I've read last year. Like, truly deeply hated that book on a deep, deep, deep level. And I still do. It, like, hurts me. Okay, I'm happy Dream Count's on there. I feel like that's like the biggest one, and I don't just mean in size. That's like the biggest name that I'm noticing on the list. I am excited about reading The Safe Keep. Oh my god, I hate the Ministry of Time. Like, it's actually making me feel sick to my stomach. Upset about this and upset about the Ministry of Time, and that's hopefully all I'm gonna say about that. I have nesting, like I said, which I'm really excited about. And I have The Safe Keep to pick up at the library today. What was the other one that I was interested in? Potentially The Dream Hotel actually sounds kind of interesting to me, by Layla Lalami. I was not interested in reading All Fours by Miranda July. I don't know why. Something about it puts me off. Again, I think the main character is like an artist of some kind. I'm really not sure. I just, for some reason, feel like I'm not going to like it. But maybe I'll like leaf through it today at the bookstore. I don't know. Really, not too many books on this list are like calling out to me. I think I'm gonna have to do some research and get back to you. Potentially I'd be interested in A Little Trickery. Maybe. The book fundamentally doesn't appeal to me, but I could see how it could appeal to a lot of people. Like I saw that on a lot of predictions lists. Good Girl I'm gonna look into. Yeah. That's really all I got. I don't really know. Okay, I'm gonna do some research. Okay, so I've had a bit of a think. I've also changed my jacket and I put my hair in a ponytail, and I really have to leave in a second. But I've had a bit of a think, and the 4 books that I'm interested in, well, okay, that are available, that's actually a lie. Because, okay, let me just backtrack. There are 4 books that I'm interested in. I've already read one of the books off the long list, which was my least favorite book, The Ministry of Time. I truly, how many times am I going to say that? I truly hate that book. Like, I really deeply dislike it. But it's here. Anyways, I've read it. The 4 books that I'm interested in, well, I guess 5, because I have the Safe Keep I'm going to pick up from the library. I ordered A Little Trickery on Amazon, which I'm kind of bummed about. I really wanted to like go the year without ordering anything on Amazon, like other than the books that I pre-ordered from Amazon. But I think it's okay. I already ordered it. It's fine. So we'll do that one. And then Dream Count by Chimamanda Adichie, which again came out today in the US, which I want to pick up. And then The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami, which I want to read the first few pages of before I commit to. And The Persians by Sanam. Oh my god, her name is cut off. I'll insert the picture here. Her name is cut off in this picture that I have of it. The Persians I am interested in. Again, reading the first few pages of. So yeah, those are the books that I'm interested in off the long list this year. I want to go again to the library after work today, and then to Barnes & Noble after work today as well to check out The Dream Hotel, Dream Count, and The Persians. Yeah. I don't think I'm like wildly interested in the Woman's Prize this year. I don't know why, but that's okay because I was really into it last year, but then I was really disappointed by most of the books that I read. So yeah, like really disappointed in a lot of the books that I read last year. I was pretty disappointed in a lot of the books that I read last year from the Woman's Prize list. My favorite one was definitely Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. But yeah, I'm just so bummed that A Ministry of Time is on the list, and I'm so bummed that There Are Rivers in the Sky is not on the list, because I just truly loved that book so much. But that's okay. I'm also kind of okay with this because I have other reading goals this year. Like, I didn't imagine if I was like massively interested in all of the books on this long list, then I would like be, what do I do? Like, do I try to read as many of them as I can? Because it's such a short frame. There's like 4 weeks between the long list announcement and the shortlist announcement. I'm not that fast of a reader, so I definitely couldn't do that, you know? I wouldn't be able to do that. And also I have other reading goals, like I was saying. So I want to read my books for Spain and Portugal that I'm still doing. And I was super interested in the Booker International long list this year, which I'm surprised by. But really interested in like most of the books on that list. And I kind of like broke my book buying thing because of it, but that's okay. It was a book. It was a prize list. I didn't like buy more books outside of the prize lists so far, at least. So I'm like stretching it by that. Whatever. We're only alive once. You never know. I don't know. So yeah, I still have a few of those books that I want to read. I'm actually vlogging it. I'm playing with a rubber band. The reading experience of all of those. I'm currently reading the Book of Disappearance for that. And I'm like 10 pages into it, so I like it so far, but I can't really tell. And yeah, so I guess I'm pleased with the way that this all worked out. I'm really glad that nesting is on there because I already owned it. Really glad. So, and I bought it because I thought that it would be on the list, and like you really I knew you really can't do that because you just never know with the woman's prize. And everyone was so sure There Are Rivers in the Sky would be on it. I'm trying to get over it. I hold grudges. That's something that is true about myself. Like, it's hard for my body to release a grudge. It's really hard. But you gotta work on it. I'm working on it. That's why the Ministry of Time is so painful to think about. And yeah. This is me trying to push it out. Anyway, so I will do a little bookshop vlog after work. So that's where we'll go. That's what you'll see next, but that's not going to be for a few hours for me. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to vlog the reading experience of all the Women's Prize books. I think I'm just going to do a little like review wrap up after I read them. Because I'm vlogging the International Booker Reads. Anyway.
Okay, so I found, well, these three I already have nesting. But I'm going to look at Good Girl and All Fours because I'm here and why not? But definitely getting Dream Count. Oh, This Motherless Land wasn't on the list. Bummer. I wanted to potentially read that. Yay. Pretty cover. Okay, so I'm going to sit here in this chair. Woo. And read the first few pages of each of these books. Okay, I had a client cancel, so I was able to go to Barnes & Noble before, like during that time that appointment was supposed to be. So I'm at work, I have to be quiet, but I want to like continue the energy. So I was at Barnes & Noble. These are the books that I purchased. I ended up getting 4 books total, but 3 off the list. And again, I ordered the one on Amazon, A Little Trickery, and I'm gonna pick up the Safekeep at the library. So, and then I'll show you my bonus book that I got because it has nothing to do with the Woman's Prize, but I'm excited about it. The Persians by Sanam Maluji, which is a really cool cover actually. I do really like this. I feel like this is the one that I'm most curious whether I'm gonna like it or not. I feel like it really could go either way. But what appeals to me about this book is that it's kind of like a family saga about the Valiat family from Iran. They were somebodies in Iran, and in America they're nobodies. And it's about all these different women. And it's spanning from the 1940s Iran to the splintered 2000s. Probably in America, maybe in Iran, I don't know. The Persians appends the reader's expectations while exploring questions about love, family, money, art, and how to find yourself and each other when your country is lost. Yeah, so that sounds interesting. From Los Angeles and New York City, trying to find a deeper meaning, probably considering identity between different countries and family relationships and what have you. The only reason I'm nervous about this book is that it seems to have a lot of like partying type things, like, which makes me sound like such a prude and is not at all what I'm trying to get at. I just find that I'm not interested in books where it's like the women are trying to be, or like the people, not just women, but this is the Women's Prize, so I'm thinking about women, where the characters are just like trying to be edgy by like being grungy and party-like. I just find that to be so not interesting at all. So I hope that's not what this is. I really don't know, but I'm curious. But I think it has the potential to be really great or really not my thing, so we'll see. I did read through the first few pages of Good Girl, forgot the name of the author. Again, not interested in that because a lot of people were like, oh, it's just like, what was one of the reviews on Goodreads said something like, oh, this is just like a bunch of teenagers trying to be edgy. And I'm like, immediate no for me. Immediate no. And then I picked up, I'm so excited about this. I was not aware of this at all before this list. And the more I look into it, the more excited I am about this. This is The Dream Hotel by Layla Lalami. Read with Jenna has pretty good book picks. So hopefully this is a pretty good book pick. Sarah has just landed in LAX, returning home from a conference abroad when agents from the Risk Assessment Administration pull her aside and inform her that she will soon commit a crime. So it's like all these agents studying people's dreams, specifically all these women's dreams, telling them or like trying to figure out like what crimes they're gonna commit beforehand. How fascinating does that sound? I did read a book, or I started reading a book, I DNF'd it in like August. I think it was like, I'm gonna put a picture of it on the screen, but I think it was a translated book and it was something, The Palace of Dreams or something like that. And it's giving me the same vibes, but hopefully this like hits the way that one didn't really do what I wanted it to do in the beginning of the book at least. Because again, like I said, I DNF'd that. But I'm so freaking excited about this one. It's not even funny. I'm so excited about this. I love the cover. Look at that. There's like a woman. Oh, the bright blue. Ooh, the back is cool. I'm so excited. And then I did get Dream Count by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, which has beautiful sprayed edges. I'm not like a huge sprayed edges gal, but thought I'd show them off. I am looking forward to this book. Again, on the way driving to work, I was listening to a few people's reactions to this being on the list, which I totally understand. Like, some people were making really good points. I find that I really, really resonated with what Karl Anderson said in his video about this. So again, I'm gonna link that video down below. Either way, I am personally excited to read this because I do really like Chimamanda Adichie's writing. I think she's a really, really, really masterful writer. I think this is about 3 different women between Nigeria and America, and it's like about their lives. Yes, that's all I really know. I think it's gonna be great. I'm excited about it. And then last but not least, I just want to show you what I also picked up at Barnes & Noble. Again, it has nothing to do with the Women's Prize, but I've been seeing this online recently, really on Goodreads a lot. Oh my god. Beautiful. I've been seeing this on Goodreads a lot, being compared to The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, but very different. Yeah, so this is One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El Akkad. Stunning cover, by the way, like genuinely stunning cover. There's a beautiful, where there's like the outline of a young child and then a missile going down. She's holding a flower. I love how like sparse this is. It's just really striking, and so many quotes on the back. On October 25th, 2023, after just 3 weeks of the bombardment of Gaza, Omar El Akkad puts out a tweet. One day when it's safe, when there's no personal downside to calling a thing what it is, when it's too late to hold anyone accountable, everyone will have always been against this. This tweet has been viewed more than 10 million times. So from award-winning novelist and journalist Omar El Akkad comes a powerful reckoning with what it means to live in a West that betrays its fundamental values. I think this is going to be a super important read. I did, while I was in Barnes & Noble, flip through All Fours by Miranda July, and I also read a review on Goodreads that just really convinced me not to pick this up. I am curious about All Fours. That's the thing. It's like, I think would really hate it, but I'm curious about it because it's something that so many people talk about. So potentially, if it's shortlisted, I could see a world where I pick it up. Hopefully from the library. I don't know. We'll see. But this review by a user named Talia. Okay, it's kind of long, so. Okay, I'm going to type this out in a way that I hope that people will understand is how she starts, or how they start. I absolutely believe that there should be more literature about women discussing and exploring their beliefs on motherhood, sex, their bodies, gender, etc. That is a no-brainer in my opinion, and it is literature that must be supported, as middle-aged women are so often silenced. With that out of the way, it would be great if I could read a book by a well-known female author who wasn't under the impression that descriptions of cutting matted hair from a dog's ass or running her hands under her lover's pee was original, sharp, or illuminating writing. I'm so bored of this type of lit fic that equates disgusting bodily fluids / acts of provocative and therefore interesting writing. It isn't. And if you are willing to go there, then at least make a gosh darn point that's better explored and more nuanced than shoving my hand up our dog's ass when ass was how my husband and I returned our connection. Also, I'm sick and tired of the theme that opening up your relationship and going poly inherently means that you are more mature, intelligent, sophisticated than another. I really don't understand how we got to this stage of believing that monogamy equals immaturity and naivety, and being poly equals maturity and wisdom. I was looking for an introspective story about a middle-aged woman, road trips, change, and an examination of all types of relationships. What I received was the most generic millennial ChatGPT coded book that literally believes that discussing gross things makes the content refreshing, intelligent, and good, and that after a failed solo cross-country trip, the solution to fix or reconnect with your partner is opening up your marriage. Nothing about this book read as tender or moving. It was written in a way that was so narcissistic and self-centered, so boring, so typical, so predictable. So you gave it 1 star. It just doesn't appeal to me, but I could, again, see a world where I could potentially pick it up. And who knows, what if I do pick it up and do like it? Because sometimes I do really like those, like, millennial stories. So you never really know. But I thought that that was a funny review, and I liked it. So I'll try to link it down below. But yes, okay. Again, what are you guys picking up from this list? What are your thoughts? Please let me know. Again, I'm kind of bummed with this year's list. Not too many things jumped out at me. And again, I already talked so much about my thoughts on 2 books. Ministry of Time is terrible, and There Are Rivers in the Sky should have been on the list. Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.